It's DJ Akademiks. It's my second podcast coming to you right now. And I appreciate all the support I got from the first podcast. A lot of people hit the like button, hit the comment, and also give me some feedback. So I appreciate all you guys. I'm working on still fine-tuning what we do here, but we're going to keep it moving. However, we got a lot of things to get into today. We got to get into album sales. Album sales just kind of came out. Predictions, recaps. We're going to review people's albums. We're going to talk about some new interesting things that are catching my interest. For example, Breaking Bad. Haven't seen it, but we're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about Kanye West, Jimmy Kimmell. And also, I finally, after about 3 months, which I listened to the Yeezus album at least about 10 to 15 times in entirety before I called it garbage, but I finally, after 3 months, gave the entire album another spin. I'm going to let you know what I thought about the album 3 months afterwards. Also, we're going to get into Khloe versus The Game, or Khloe and The Game, actually, versus the paparazzi. And we're going to get into Nipsey Hussle. He's selling his mixtape nowadays, $100 for a mixtape. Would you pay that? We're going to get into it. Also, we're going to get into a couple non-hip-hop topics. The biker gangs, this shit look like it's getting out of control. So it looks like an undercover officer was arrested for being involved with this biker mob thing that ran down this Range Rover. We'll talk about it. And also, we're going to get into a little relationship talk. I'm going to give my views on why we still have these inconsistencies between men and women when it comes to relationship and comes to dealing with each other. So stay tuned, hit the like button, hit the comments, and let's get into it right now. Let's go. So, first things first, album sales. Album sales came back from last week, and it appears Drake experienced a 78% drop. And I'm reporting here from his Daily Double, who usually has correct statistics when it comes to album sales. He had a 78% drop on his second week, so he sold 658,000 his first week. His second week, he dropped all the way down to 148,000. Still a good number, but the drop is still a little astounding. But it could be due to the high anticipation that people had for the album coming out. So most of the people that were going to get the album anyway just got the album the first week. So the second week, there wasn't that many people to get it. It shows that he has a strong fan base. But usually these type of things, you'll hear people online saying, oh, maybe Birdman bought some albums. Maybe something happened. But still, he's doing good. He's at 806,000, so 806,000 records sold right now. And it looks like in a week or two, he'll be platinum. So shout out to Drizzy Drake, light skin Keith Sweat. Light skin niggas, we stay winning right now. So salute to him. Also, my man 2 Chainz. He looked like he's dealing with this flop he's catching very hard. If you guys didn't know, 2 Chainz album flopped. And flopped, in my definition of being flopped, or your album flopping, is that compared to your last effort, this effort did significantly less. So, for example, I can't compare all rappers on a Drake plateau. Drake sold 658,000 records first week. I can't say, okay, you sold only 200, you flopped. I got to compare you to your previous effort or what we thought you would do. So, 2 Chainz sold over 150,000 records last time on his debut album. However, this album came in around 65,000. Very light. Very light. So 2 Chainz come again. It seems like he's a little bit upset about it. LateNightCreep.com has an interview with him talking about how he's mad at Def Jam, and he's doing a normal artist bullshit. He's blaming the label, saying they undershipped his album. Stop it, 2 Chainz. They didn't undership your album. No one bought it. You did 68,000 or 65,000, whatever the number was. A couple weeks after that's about the third week it's been out. He's at 126,000. I think that's fairly decent. It's still a flop, but he's showing some longevity that he might last on the charts for a little while. He still won't get to 300,000, but at least I think he'll survive to his next effort to give another album. So, 2 Chainz, stop the bitching. You flopped. Also, on the flop alert, my man Big Sean. He dropped the Hall of Flop album. Actually, it's called Hall of Fame. I just choose to refer to it as Hall of Flop. And he's nowhere to be found on the charts. It looks like the last time he was seen on the charts, it was an APB out for Big Sean. He was at about 110,000 records sold. So after a month and a half, he still hasn't hit 150. Actually, not even 125. So he looks like he's still struggling to get some traction with this album as far as sales wise. But we all know he just recently got engaged to Naya Rivera. She's so beautiful. I want to hit that. But he might have to go pawn that ring in and go get a promise ring or something like that. You can't be selling this low amount and still out here trying to ball. But of course, Big Sean, he's still doing the shows, everything like that. I'm a huge fan of Big Sean. It's crazy that his album flopped, but it's understandable. You guys got to understand that. To me, Big Sean had one of the best albums this year, but it lacked commercially viable singles. A lot of the songs on the album is not songs you can hear bumping in the club. It's not songs you hear all the time in the radio. I love the song Fire. Beware was a cool song with Lil Wayne, but they're not club hits. They didn't do that well on the Billboard charts. So you got to expect you're not going to do that well. If you guys remember his last album, Finally Famous, the album, he had Marvin Gaye and Chardonnay. He had My Last. He had Ass. Both the original and the remix with Nicki Minaj. Those are huge records. I think all of those went platinum. So those are huge records. That's why he was actually in the space he was in. And I think maybe that kind of got to him to think that those fans that were supporting those records were truly his fans. So after the critically acclaimed mixtape he dropped, Detroit, he dropped a solid album with just him straight up just rapping, not really going for the commercial route. He thinks he could probably do a J. Cole type of situation where J. Cole has a solid fan base. 300,000 people are going to buy J. Cole's record. I'll say 250 to 300,000, regardless if it has a huge club record on it. The only big song really from J. Cole's album this time is like Power Trip, which is a cool song, but that's not what would sell a J. Cole's album. You're probably a real J. Cole fan if you're buying his album. So, salute to J. Cole. It looks like Big Sean, he's still trying to build his cult fan base, which I think that's what J. Cole has, and that's what I think Big Sean has to get to. But in other news, a couple people hit platinum, or actually they've been hit platinum and just keep going. So Kendrick Lamar, platinum. Salute that man. Macklemore, also platinum. So his big singles looks like it did eventually get him to being platinum with his album, which was very slow on the charts. So salute to Macklemore. But a legend, or I think this guy's a legend, Nelly. Nelly came in, he dropped an album. You might have not heard about it, but he did drop an album last week, and the sales came back 15,000 records sold first week. Is that a flop? I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it. I didn't see that much promo by the label, but still, it's Nelly. I can't imagine Nelly flopping, but still, I heard him on the Breakfast Club interview, and big shout out to the Breakfast Club, shout out to Charlamagne and the whole bunch. He was very realistic about his situation. He said he knows he's now marketing his music to a different generation, and he's not going to change his music just to appeal to them. So he's not going to switch up his content or switch up how he's rapping just to get a couple album sales. He's going to rap the way he still raps. He's going to market to the younger generation. If they accept him, cool. There'll be a couple more sales for his album. But he knows he still has a fan base from when he was popping. And he says they'll buy his album, they'll come see his shows and stuff like that. So he's not really trying to twist and just do the most, trying to get this generation on his like level or his like bandwagon. And he admitted it's a young man's game. So Nelly had his time, just like Ja Rule had his time, just like 50 Cent had his time. And arguably, maybe just like Lil Wayne had his time. But that still remains to be seen until Lil Wayne catches a solid flop. Like, he sells 100,000 records. I won't say Lil Wayne has his time. But Nelly, very realistic. I haven't checked the album out. One of my Twitter followers said it sounded like some country album, which I'm not too sure about. So I'm going to actually listen to the album. But big salute to Nelly. But everybody know the SoundScan killer right now, which is Justin Timberlake, came in at number 1, beating Drake out of the top spot. 350,000 records sold with the 2020 Experience Part 2. So if everyone knew, or you guys should know, Justin Timberlake, he dropped 2 albums this year. He dropped 2020 Experience Part 1 and Part 2. Part 2 just came out, and that did 350,000 records sold. Before, Part 1 did really good on the charts, and right now it's currently at 2.3 million records sold, which is crazy in this day and time where we're having 2 Chainz struggling to get to 100K. Him and Big Sean going double styrofoam, but we still have Justin Timberlake doing 2.3 million. But that's the reason why they're doing stadiums. Him and Jay, and Big Sean is still not even at the level to do arenas, but he's doing good. However, Justin Timberlake has 2 albums in the top 15 of the Billboard Top 200 albums, which I also think is very applaudable. So definitely salute that man. He's doing his thing. Albums that are going to come out next week. I don't know if I'm really anticipating this, but I want to see the numbers come back on it. Listen, I'm not a huge, actually I am a huge person with like rap sales and like album numbers. I'm trying to see what Miley Cyrus brings back. Miley Cyrus dropping her album Bangers. It's already in stores. We're trying to see what numbers are she gonna bring back. She's been twerking all over the place, shaking her long back, wiggling her thighs, almost half naked, sticking that tongue out of her mouth, doing the most. So, is she gonna flop after doing all that? What do you guys think? I mean, Miley Cyrus has been twerking all over the place. She's clearly been trying to market herself or market her brand to niggas. She wants people who are within the black culture who enjoy twerking, and especially everyone knows niggas love when a white girl twerks. There's nothing niggas like more. When someone else from not within the culture or perceivably not within the culture imitates the culture, it's great. It looks like you're doing something that's great, and it even looks better when you see someone else trying to be you. So we all enjoyed, I won't say continue to enjoy Miley Cyrus twerking, because the VMA experience, it just killed the whole thing for me. Like her doing it in that little wop in that little bunny suit or whatever, that was cool. VMAs killed it. But she's dropping her album Bangers. LateNightCreep.com, you guys can get a preview of that. I'm not sure what I think about this album. Has, of course, a bunch of nigga features on it. Big Sean, Juicy J, of course, Mike Will Made It, who's been allegedly penetrating her, is also like executive producer. So you could tell where the album's going already. It's like Ratchet City Twerk Queen. So we'll see how that goes. She hasn't been doing a little too much press, because every time she does press, like, people keep asking her, hey, twerk, which exactly what they should ask. There's nothing about Miley Cyrus. To be completely honest, I was in the club. I wasn't DJing or anything. I was just out. I was out this weekend. I went to a real mixed club. Like, they were playing, like, it was really mostly a white club. But that was like the first time I really heard a Miley Cyrus record go hard. But it went hard in the club. So it's one of the first time I actually heard Miley Cyrus, but because I'm not interested in her. I'm only interested in her doing the shenanigans, like trying to twerk. And even that is getting me disgusted at the moment. So you guys can check it out. We'll talk about it when those sales come back. But have you guys seen the Khloe Kardashian in The Game walking away from, or walking to, True nightclub, and the paparazzi's all over them? I'm confused about this whole situation. First of all, what is The Game doing with Khloe Kardashian? Number 2, is The Game actually penetrating Khloe since Lamar's on crack? Number 3, isn't The Game a Laker fan? Why would he do that? Number 4, how does The Game go from being a multi-platinum recording artist to being Khloe Kardashian's personal security detail? Number 5, why does The Game with Khloe Kardashian looks like his little twist hanging with Justin Bieber? Makes absolutely no sense. But it's up on TMZ and also LateNightCreep.com. The video looks ridiculous. The Game actually looks like he's out here hulking out. I know he has his reality show going on, Marrying the Game. We all know he's not going to get married. You're not going to get married to an older chick who's older than you, when you're like 35, she's like 37 or 38. I might be getting the numbers wrong here. You're not going to get married to her. But the reality show is cool. There's a lot of fuckery that's going on there. And I don't mind it. So I like the show, but come on, Game. You're not going to get married. But you're very entertaining. In the video, if you guys see it, the Game is walking with Khloe. Her head is down. She's acting like she's the biggest thing on earth. Not saying a word. There's like 20 black dudes around her, which we expect. She's a Kardashian. And they're trying to make sure that there's not too many pictures or videos taken. We even got one of the paparazzi guys shouting out like, yo, how's Lamar in that crack? Which is very disrespectful and actually very hilarious, because that's some shit I really would want to ask Khloe. Like, what's going on with Lamar and the crack rock? Is he still battling the addiction? What's going on? But yeah, Nipsey Hussle, he's actually selling his mixtape. He has a mixtape out. It's called Crenshaw. Look it up, Google it. I believe it's on DatPiff free currently. But before it was available, he was selling his mixtape for $100 a pop. I think it was like a package. It came with maybe a concert tickets, a signed CD, and like a shirt. But still, it's caused some uproar online because here we have a fairly unknown mixtape rapper. Now, I'll call him a mixtape rapper because I don't believe he's dropped a studio album yet, or at least that was commercially released. And he's selling his mixtape for $100 each, and he had 1,000 copies available. Or that's what he aimed for. So I don't know if you guys ever heard of the Kickstarter campaign type of things where movie directors, sometimes even rap artists, they'll put up a certain goal like, hey, I need to hit this amount for this project to come out. So, for example, Spike Lee had one. He's like, I need to hit almost like $1 million for me to produce this movie. And really, you're really donating that I could get the funds for me to complete this movie. This is pretty much what I think Nipsey Hussle did. I don't think he's trying to make money off just the mixtape sales because he's only selling 1,000. It looks like he's trying to get that money to probably do something with it, or to show maybe a label, hey, I have fans that will support. This is the reason why this is a great idea. It's a great idea because every rapper that's somewhat good, and even the bad ones, Lil B, he's garbage, but still he has stans. Everyone knows a stan, as introduced by Eminem. A stan is really a fanatic that has taken it to the extreme. A fan is usually someone who is very into someone's music, but a stan is someone who lacks objectivity and completely is on a rapper's dick. So everyone knows every rapper has stans. Like, you have certain people that will say Drake has never put out a song or a verse that hasn't been the best ever. They'll say Lloyd Banks or Joe Buttons is like the greatest rapper that ever touched down on earth. Clearly a stan. Not someone thinking objectively, not someone evaluating a conversation or an argument from all sides. They're only seeing it because their love of this rapper, and that's the only side they can see it from. So everyone has stans. So these are the same people who, if a rapper says, hey, I want to have good album sales, they'll go out and buy 10 copies. So album's already on sale for $10, but they'll still go out and buy 10 copies of the same thing. So to capitalize on that, someone like Nipsey Hussle says, you're going to spend $100 on my records anyway. Why don't you just spend $100 for this one CD? I'm going to give you a couple other things to subsidize and make you feel like it's a little bit more worth it. But I'm targeting my main core base, my main core fan base, which is what he actually said, at least according to hotnewhiphop.com. So he's targeting his main core fan base who don't mind spending $1,000 or $100 actually to get a little bit closer to him, to have a signed CD, to really have the merchandise and feel like they're truly supporting their favorite rapper. So that's actually a great thing. So apparently he made $100,000 in one day by selling out all 1,000 CDs for $100 each. So salute to Nipsey Hussle. I see the vision that he's trying to do with it. I think this could be taken further if another artist who's more notably on or something like that actually takes up the concept. But we know most of the rappers that are really on, they're signed to labels, and no label would really have that nonsense. Like, what? You're only selling 1,000 copies? And then for $100 each? How do we get that on a barcode? It's just a whole bunch of nonsense, and also the rapper wouldn't probably get the direct income or revenue that's earned from the CD. So, big shout out to Nipsey Hussle. I like the concept. What do you guys think about a rapper selling a mixtape? Not even a CD, not even a studio album, but it's almost like a studio album because it's all original music. He's not rapping over, he's not jacking for beats, just rapping over nonsense. He's actually spitting. He's really spitting on some real original tracks, and these are real records. So he calls it a mixtape, but it's really an album. But how do you guys feel about the concept of him charging $1,000 for the people who will buy, knowing that the people that won't buy will eventually just hear it or download it, and then once he gets to a target goal, he puts it up online and says, hey, you all could have the rest of the album and just enjoy it, because it's still, even if it's not going to make money, it's still free promotion. So big shout out to Nipsey Hussle for that. But in non-hip hop news, and of course I'm sipping over here, so I'm over here tripping a little bit. But Bacardi Superior, drinking it straight. Don't ask me why. So, in non-hip hop news, so this biker gang, about 2 weeks ago from the day, this biker gang was driving, or they were riding on the West Side Highway. There was a Range Rover in the middle or the midst of the crowd. Some reason, I'm not sure what the Range Rover did, but they all stop around him on the highway. And you got to imagine, like, 200 bikes, 150 to 200 bikes just stopping, and you're in the middle of that with a Range Rover, so you have to stop because there's no way you kind of get around them. And I'm not sure if Rories get exchanged, but clearly the guy in the Range Rover, who was with his wife and also his newborn or his baby, they felt somewhat threatened just by the bikers being around them, and it stopped. They don't know what's going on. As I said, maybe words got exchanged. But at one point, and the video's up online, it's on latenightcreep.com, the Range Rover runs over like a couple of the bikes and just gets out of there. Then it's like a scene out of Fast and Furious, like the Tokyo Drift edition. Like, everyone jumps on the bike and they're like chasing this guy in the Range Rover, and it looks like they're chasing him for a pretty long while. We don't see any police officers. Everyone's racing. It looks like the people riding the bike, they're actually really even getting into it, because it now feels like a chase. They're probably thinking, yo, this nigga over here, he just hit our friend. Let's go chase him. Let's go get him. So they go chase this guy down. They don't catch this guy up until they're by like Washington Heights, and they're in the city area where there's lights, and the guy can't really just speed around like it's a highway. So they catch up to this guy. A couple of them hop off the bikes. They start hitting the vehicle. A couple of them use their helmets to hit the windows, break the windows, drag him out of the car. Allegedly, he gets slashed in the face, and his wife and newborn are witnessing this from the car. Now, there's been a lot of debate about that. It's been a lot of debate about biker gangs. Me personally, I don't like no niggas that's on two wheels around me. When I'm on four wheels driving, I don't want no niggas on two wheels around me. Get the hell out of my way. Because usually you're doing the most, and now I feel like I have to try not to hit you. A nigga on a bike is always doing the most type of shit. He's weaving, trying to do wheelies. He's doing all types of shit. He looks like he's trying to get bitches while he's moving through. He's not just really just riding just to get where he's going. He's stunting. Now, he's coming in and out the side of my lane. Like, so now I'm watching all around me because I'm like, I can't hit this little bitch. But I'm trying to imagine myself as the Range Rover driver when I have 250 of these bitches just stop around my car, and now they start threatening me for whatever reason it is. Yeah, I'm going to run over your bitch ass. They need like a separate lane for bikers. And all people that are on two wheels. Motorcyclists, so the motorbikes, or even if you're riding a damn bicycle, you need a separate lane. Me and you are not in the same lane. I hate when I'm driving down the street and I see someone that's riding a bike a bicycle in front of me, and he's over here acting like we're going the same speed. No, I want to go 45, but you're pedaling 25. And then you're doing all this bullshit. I want to hit you, but I can't. So I definitely see where the person in the Range Rover is coming from. And I agree with it. Hit them niggas. Run over them real quick. Let them niggas know that, listen, you're on two wheels. If we get in an accident, you have way more to lose than I do. Maybe there's more legal ramifications for me, but you get hit, you're going to probably die. Allegedly, one of them did die. There was someone hand broken. Allegedly, someone died. I don't know if this was confirmed, but when the video came out, a couple hours later, it was said someone died, but I'm not sure. However, the issue of this video and the incident came back up in the news when today it's reported that one of the people that were actually in the biker gang was a goddamn undercover cop. So this undercover cop is there, and he's keeping up with the shenanigans too. He's like hitting the car when they catch him, and like he's kicking it. Well, now this dumbass has been arrested, and I completely agree with it. It seems like the guy who was driving the Range Rover, he's gonna get in the least amount of trouble because he could clearly prove by the video that was taken by one of the bikers' helmet cam. He could clearly prove that he was in fear of his life from all these nigglets, and I'm only saying nigglets just to really get these people in perspective. I'm not sure if they were niggers or not. Probably they weren't, but still, he was in fear of his life. That's why he ran over him. That's why he kept running. And after what they did to him in the end, where they beat the shit out of him and also slashed him in his face allegedly, it makes sense why he was running. It makes sense why he ran over them. Now he completely has a story to go with his actions. The bikers do not. Because at some point they were supposed to stop and say, hey, we're going to call the police to get this guy. Maybe we follow him to keep track of where he's going, but in no way, shape, or form are we going to attack him. So that's what that is. It clearly seems like these guys are, they're not too smart. And then the cop, apparently the undercover cop lied about his involvement. He said he wasn't really involved, but he was with the gang. Then there's another video that got leaked, and he was actually assaulting the victim, or we're going to call the person in Range Rover the victim, assaulting his vehicle. So that shit's very like all over the place. So people that's riding bikes, they're feeling some type of way. People like me who are annoyed with these biking ass niggas. These wheelie ass niggas. Niggas doing all types of shit like it's GTA 5. I don't want to see that shit around my car. Stay away. Drive in a separate lane where you could do that bullshit over there. You don't have to worry about me. I don't have to worry about you. And I can just drive normally. But yeah. Sipping on some good shit over here. Some real good shit. But last thing I'm going to get into, and also I want to shout out to everyone who does support. Keep commenting, keep liking. I want you guys to keep sharing this. Clearly I'm only doing this for you guys to really connect, and also to get a forum to talk about issues that's going on. So you guys in the comments, you guys are giving opinions, whether it's yo, you're talking that real shit, or even calling me on it, yo, you on that bullshit. So really appreciate you guys even listen to this now. But I was talking with my homegirls the other day, and actually that sound very suspect. Homegirls, I'm a dude, right? I'll say associate because I'm not having sex with her, right? So she was explaining the situation where she feels this guy is uninterested in her because they've been talking for a while. They went on a couple dates, but they haven't had sex. And I was pretty much explaining the point of how men think as reverse to how women think. Women, this is what it is. You could only hold a man's interest for so long without having sex with him. For a man, it's a very reverse or reciprocal approach to how you deal with women. Women want to feel like you are worth their time just to have sex with them. So for a female to have sex with you, she wants to know that you're worth her time. For a man, he wants to have sex with you before he figures to find out if you're actually worth his time. It's a completely reciprocal approach. A woman is she wants to be wine and dine. She wants you to spend time with her on the phone. She wants to hang out with you to find out if your motivations are everything but sex, or if it goes beyond sex. A guy, unless you're thirsty, a thirsty guy will do anything. A guy will give you only so much time before he gets to the point where he's like, you know what? For me to still be interested in you, we have to have sex. You're not worth my time anymore unless we have sex. And that's the point that a lot of people get into relationships with. Or before you even get in relationships, people start talking, and that's where it breaks down. Me, I have a 3-day rule. If we go out 3 times and I don't have sex with you, there's no time. I don't have time for you anymore. We're together 3 times and we're comfortable, which means we've been in comfortable settings. You've come to my house, or I've been to your apartment, and we've been in those situations 3 times, and we don't have sex. You're not keeping my interest anymore. So forget all that bullshit about, I have a 60-day rule. Forget that Steve Harvey shit. I have a 3-month rule, a 6-month rule. That 6-month rule ain't gonna work with no real ass niggas, especially not me. So I was explaining to her, you need to give him a reason to be interested in you. She was like, he used to call her a lot. He used to be always texting her. But like his interest in her clearly declined after they hung out a couple times. And I'm thinking how he would think. Nothing happened. Yeah, they realized they could somewhat hang out and be cool. But in every dude's mind, if you're not having sex with a girl, what's the point? Men, we have enough friends. We have enough friends in other guys. We don't really look for friends in girls. Miss me with that shit about, let's just go watch a movie. I watch movies by myself. If I'm watching a movie with you, there's actually a method to my madness. Actually, I usually have a formula about mine. 7 minutes in, I try to make a move. The way how you respond to that move, that's up to you. But I'm going to try to make a move to make it clear that I'm trying to get something going on. But it seems like women are somewhat delusional because they never actually understand that. They don't understand that the perfect relationship, or there is no perfect relationship, but the relationship that you keep your man interested in is the right mix of sex and the right mix of actually withholding. So you got to give him enough, and then you still got to find that balance where he's hanging out with you, where it's not only about sex, so you're not just a random booty call. But a lot of women don't get that. So I was advising her on that. It seems like she kind of gets it, but who knows? Who knows? Women think on a completely different playing field. Also, I do want to give credit to this new trend that's been going on. A lot of women have been approaching men to either like get their numbers, initiate conversations, and I absolutely love it. Love it. Absolutely love it. I don't or never do feel that the onus is only on the guy to initiate conversation. To be honest, I have a 95% 5% rule. So a 95-5 rule. If I'm not 95% sure you're interested in me, I'm not just going to go on a limb like a thirsty dude. I'm very well calculated when I do these things. So if you are interested in me, it would be great if you actually show me that you're interested. If you actually show me that you're interested, of course I'll pursue. But as a guy, sometimes it's nothing more appealing and relieving as well when a girl actually comes on you and she shows you how interested she actually is in you. So that's my little tidbit today for relationships and like just stuff I usually talk about in my normal life. And also just giving advice, because I give a lot of advice. Or it might not be advice, because it might be bad advice. Or I guess that is advice. But that's my advice. So, appreciate you guys for all tuning in. We will return shortly. I want to make sure you guys follow me on that Twitter, at Akademiks. Follow me on that Facebook. Just search DJ Akademiks. Follow me on that Instagram. I need some Instagram love, guys. At Akademiks as well. Make sure you guys subscribe to this YouTube channel. As I said, the comments, the likes, they keep this going. We're starting discussions. It's about whatever, and we're just here to talk about you. We still on that nigga shit, so don't think we're just really just spitting out facts, but we are evaluating shit. But we're never immune to the niggerdom that's actually going on. So once again, it's your boy DJ Akademiks, and I'm tuning out. Hit me up, subscribe, do your thing. Peace.